Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight we're going to be talking about David Adefiso or whoever, and we're going to be talking about Vincent Herbert. This is a viewer requested video. There was a lot of people who wanted to discuss Vincent Herbert's text messages that were leaked in between David and himself. And a lot of people were, championing Vince for coming to her rescue. And a lot of people were, congratulating him. And I even seen a couple people who were wishing that Vince and Tamar got back together. However, me, when I started to look at this, I was just thinking, is Vince any better than David? Now, he's there for her in this moment, which is awesome and amazing, but is he any better? I don't know. We're going to go through the things. We're going to go through some flashbacks, and then we're going to get into these new messages that were, or actually, no. I'll play a refresher of what David said happened between him and Tamar in the car. And then I'm going to go over these messages that have leaked. So I'm going to do that. And then we're going to talk about Vincent as far as him and Tamar's relationship and if he is any better. So let me pull that up right now and we'll play a flashback of his accounts of what happened between him and Tamar. I will be taking calls a little bit later, so definitely be ready to come on live and give your thoughts on the matter. So first, let's get a refresher on his accounts on what he said happened.
Every Black man also carries a stigma of being an aggressor. An aggressive Black man, somebody who, you can't tame, somebody who's aggressive. And it's really sad. I remember, there was somebody who attacked Tamar a few months ago. I thought very unfair at the time and now about, something. It was a lady who attacked her on social media about something she did in her past with a guy who they said was married, which, I still believe to be, so not something that is true, despite what people say. And I got on her case for the only reason being, you can't attack what we're trying as a people, Black people in America, to overcome racial injustice and all the bad things that have happened to us. We can't be attacking each other. We must just speak the truth. We can't attack. I will never bring myself to attack Tamar, somebody I've spent so long with. I never will. It's just not something I will do. I'll speak the truth. Here's the truth. I've been a victim of domestic violence, domestic assault. I was attacked. I was driving on high speed, and I was attacked. A blow to my neck, my jugular. For those of you who know about medicine and the jugular, that's what carries blood to your brain. When you're hit there, it discombobulates you. And I thought I was gonna crash. But I was driving fast. I had to call my mom. I called my mom. A 50-year-old guy having to call his mom when he's driving, and my mom started praying. Tamar was in the car. My mom started praying, only to find out that after the blow, I was being secretly recorded. Something that's illegal and unfair. And the tapes being sent to my family. The tapes of being distressed, in pain, calling my mom, were being sent to my family and other people.
Okay, so that's a little piece of him describing what occurred between him and Tamar. He had gotten a restraining order against her, and he alleged that he was driving, and while he was driving, she punched him in the jugular, and, she secretly recorded him in a frantic rage because and sent it to his family. Now, me, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt until I get more parts of the story. On that part, I mean, it sounds probable. It sounds like, if you piss somebody off, they could possibly do it. But Tamar came out and Chronicle Speaks shared it in a video. And in the video, she talked about how he was lying about what happened. And I guess this was a text message between the blogger Jason Lee and Tamar, where she alleged that he said that he was going to try and kill her. So let me zoom in on that. It says, he said he was going to kill me. We were on the way to treatment. He said we were going to end up in a murder-suicide. I only grabbed him after he grabbed me. Hard. That's his thumbprint. I never hit him. He hit me. I didn't do a police report because I wasn't trying to ruin his business. David just don't want to look bad on this weed TV show. He wants everyone to think I'm crazy. He's fame hungry and thirsty. Malika picked me up from treatment. She is a witness. He called the police after we left, and before I left, I tore the camera out of his 2013 Range Rover because I know how thirsty he is. All facts. He is a liar. So then Jason Lee responded and he said, he saw her new show. He believes her. And he believes that, this dude is pathetic and controlling and things like that. There was also reports that she started to mimic his behavior and that he was controlling. Like, sources close to her family was saying that he was controlling Tamar. And this was a very toxic relationship. So this happened after he had came out, or these messages came out after he had came out trying to allege that she just out of nowhere punched him in the jugular. And he was, just this innocent guy who's just in distress from this woman just hitting him for no reason. And so me, when I heard that, I'm like, well, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. It sounds like, what I'm saying? I don't know, until I heard her side. And that's why it's always best to get both sides before you come to a conclusion. And when I hear her side of the story, that also makes sense. That makes sense. Like, motherfucker, you ain't about to kill me. I'm gonna fuck you up before any of that. You know what I'm saying? Fight or flight. And so I can see that also being probable. Then now there are text messages that have come out, and they are leaked messages that are supposed to be between David and between Vince Herbert. So I think the first person who posted these messages was a blogger by the name of Layla Lynn. And since then, other people have retrieved the messages. I don't want to go through her video. That's her video. She, I don't want to be playing any other YouTuber's video or whatever. But so somebody on Instagram also posted the messages. The messages are very hard to see. Basically, it looks like they sent in foggy screenshots, or the copy printer that copied them. It's all blurry and it's black and white and it's hard to see. But we're gonna read through these messages between him and Vince and go over that. And then after, this exchange, like I said, there was a lot of people who were feeling like, they were glad that Vince was to the rescue, and they were like, yeah, go Vince. But then that made me think, and I'm like, well, is he any better? But we'll get to that in a second. So let me share my screen to show these messages right quick. Let me zoom in a little bit more so that you guys can see them. And again, I will be opening up the line for people to call in after. So these messages say, hey, Vince, I'm currently spending time with my mom and on this spiritual journey. She and my pastor brother-in-law and I have been on the past few months, as I described yesterday, and I'm sure you can relate to. I need to heal, and the only way I know to do that is using the spirit and word of God. I hate when people be trying to, people always deflect with this God stuff a lot. I therefore don't think it is a great idea unless in an emergency or an urgent crisis. And then I guess this is another splice of text message. This is a blogger posted this. Um, it says, told me it is imperative she be checked into an inpatient medical facility where she can get the necessary care she needs to, she can also heal. It's important she not be left alone by herself. I must tell you that my respect for you over the past 2 years has grown tremendously, primarily due to the way that I have seen Logan evolve as a kind, smart, creative genius, and knowing that in addition to Tamar, you have played a huge role in that. It would have been my greatest something. Wait. It would have been my greatest honor and pleasure to have played my part in helping to shape that young genius mind of his into a philanthropic billionaire or U.S. president. I know he one day will grow up to be. I do hope that one day I get the opportunity to continue to try to do that. So basically, he's like playing this holy roller, like, I'm here to save Tamar. She needs help. I want to be in Logan's life to make him a billionaire one day. And hopefully I can still, do that. And he's wanting to admit Tamar into some type of facility. So then here is where it looks like Vince responded to those messages that he sent him. And it says, thank you, David. I only called you and texted you today as a courtesy call because you told me you would provide a time to pick up all of Tamar and Logan's belongings. I didn't hear from you, so I can arrange my schedule. David, I was only trying to keep the peace because Tamar has been saying she has been trying to retrieve her belongings. It is now safe to say she's moved on from this vile and abusive relationship, and hearing the tape from the other day, I don't blame her. It says, Tamar is getting help. As you know, she has been in deep therapy from Dr. V, who treats and cares for people like Tamar. It says, she expressed to me that she doesn't feel like Tamar needs to be institutionalized, but thank you for your concern. I've also talked to Tony, and she said she hasn't spoken to you since the incident that happened at your home, and Tamar was released from the hospital. But we will take care of Logan. We will take care of Tamar and Logan since the responsibilities were too much for you. Please know that after the stunt you pulled on Saturday, you get son life, and Vince is like, boy, you just pulled a whole stunt on Sunday, and that's out of the question. You won't be seeing him, period, poo, none whatsoever. It says you used a 7-year-old boy and his emotions for your own publicity stunts. Never again will you be alone with him for any reason. You used Tamar's love and trust for you and manipulated time with Logan to use him for your wait. Okay, it says, let me know what time on Thursday to pick up everything that belongs to Tamar and Logan. After hearing you threaten Tamar's life, I believe the last thing I would do is give you an address for you to find her. I don't mind having a police escort to make sure everything is cleared out. The way you packed her things the last time was disrespectful, and it looked like a bunch of trash. She nor Logan deserves that. We are not friends, and we will never be after hearing how you treated Tamar on Sunday. My conversation with you yesterday was respectful and honest, and you never mentioned what you said to her, how you threatened her, then called the police on her as if it wasn't you on tape that I heard threatening to kill Logan's mother. David, at first I was a cheerleader for you two. I'm disappointed and disgusted for a man to talk to any female the way you talked to someone you told me you loved and promised me you would protect. After I make sure Tamar and Logan's belongings are cleared out of your home, there is no need to contact you, nor for you to never contact Logan. I trust that you will have her watch that's in your car, various boxes in Logan's room, and everything else packed neatly so we can have this done privately and quickly. Yet, you let me know if you have any questions or issues, but for now, we have nothing else to discuss. So, Vince is like, listen, we don't got nothing to talk about other than you forking over Tamar's belongings. There's nothing for us to communicate about. And Vince is like, the audacity of you to play victim when you, in fact, were the one who was threatening to kill her. And for me, that makes me start to question I questioned the whole 911 call anyways, because the 911 call was extremely suspect. Like how he was communicating with the 911 operator, it was a definite eyebrow raise or whatever, and how he was explaining. And it's like, it sounds like he possibly been setting her up all along. Once you out these men for possibly being on the down low, they will try to, act like you did something wrong to them. If you guys remember, last year around, I want to say November, it was like late last year, Tamar was throwing out subliminals about him possibly being on the down low. And she felt like, no matter what you do, you'll never be enough for these men. And it's just like, these people will try to do whatever to keep their secret. Now, I don't know if he's on the down low or not. I'm just going off of what she alluded and how he looks to me in this situation or whatever. And then there was also the people who felt like, they were happy that Vince was to the rescue. And there was people who were thankful that Vince came to, to her aid. Well, I was looking on a thread on Lipstick Alley, and then there was a lot of people who felt like, Vince has no room to talk, but I'm glad he's said something where Logan is concerned. Another person says, coming from the man that allegedly also physically abused her, child, this is an entire mess. I just pray for Logan. No child should have to be in the midst of this mess. And another person was calling out Vince and says, didn't Vince try to eat her hand though? Another person says, poor Logan. Another person says she's keeping in contact with that man over a watch. They all messy. And then this person says Vince wants to handle it privately, but the text magically leaked. Watch him and Tamar get back together. Then another person says, Vince is no better since we know how him and Tamar's marriage was, but I'm glad someone is going at David and on Tamar's behalf. I would not be shocked if someone from the family of Tamar called Vince to handle David, and so on and so forth. And then somebody was saying like how the text messages look like the Declaration of Independence. And this person is like, pot meets the kettle. Didn't he abuse her too? So a lot of people were calling him out for also being the same person that he's calling out in David. Thank you so much, Ashanti, for the donation. Oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And it got me to thinking about a video that I did last year where I was talking about how, she's had these situations with these men. And when she was alluding that David might be on the DL, I'm going to play you guys my video from the past. And then after that, I'm going to open up the phone lines for you guys to for you guys to let me know how you feel about it. But first, let's have a flashback of this video. I posted this video on November of last year. And this is where I was talking about, how Vince also abused her and how, he had an alleged baby, all kind of mess that she has been dealing with these men. Let's play the flashback. And then I'm going to put the link in the chat. So actually, I'm going to put the link in the chat. You guys start to chime in and click on. And then when we're done, I will pull you guys on. So let me first put the link in the chat, and then I will and then I'll play the video. So the link is in the chat. You guys start to click on, and you guys let me know what you think about this situation. Let's pull up this video, this throwback video that I did, and you guys let me know, is Vincent any better for Tamar coming to her rescue?
It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned into Neek at Night. And tonight we're going to be talking about this subliminal post that Tamar Braxton put on her page. Okay, so as you guys know, Tamar Braxton, she got her relationship, with Vince. They stopped dating each other. There was like allegations that Vince had cheated on her with Laura from Basketball Wives. And there was even allegations that Vince was putting the pause on Tamar and, abusing her and whatnot, and that there was an alleged baby. She has been having a trying time with men. She then later found love and everything, but sis seems like she's going through it yet again. I'm going to give y'all all the tea in case you missed it with what happened with her and Vince, to give y'all a refresher. But first, let's talk about this new man she got and how she's possibly throwing the shade at him, or it possibly could be to Vince. But let's go through this, and then I'm going to show y'all the tea that y'all probably have missed. Okay, so as y'all know, she got a divorce from Vince, and then she moved on to this new man who she said was her knight in shining armor. For a while, she wasn't showing his face. She was like, y'all, I got this man. He is so fine. He is fine this and fine that. And she said he was fine, which beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If she think he fine, if he look fine to her, then hey, he fine. He ain't fine to me. He fine to her. Because like I said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, we finally got to see him, and, her fine. And we realized when we saw him, her fine and our fine are two different things. But again, it's in the eye of the beholder, and it is what it is. There was a lot of people when they seen him, they or I ain't gonna lie, when I seen him, I seen a lot of comments, but I will admit, when I seen him, he looked a little. But hey, that could be the reason why I ain't in blissful bliss, because I be thinking these guys and they be working out for other people. But hey, it is what it is. So, I thought he looked, a little bit on the, zesty side. But if she like it, I love it. Well, now she's coming out and she's saying that dudes really be gay. So it's like, who are you referring to? Are you referring to your man, or who else are you referring to? Are you referring to, Vince? Are you referring to your man? I'm going to take it as the latest guy that she was dating. I'm going to assume that's who she's talking about. And just to be clear, it could be anybody that she's dated in the past, but I'm going to assume that this type of shot is in relation to somebody that she most recently was dating. So she took to her Instagram and she said, the truth is, ladies, that these dudes out here really do be gay. It ain't enough money, beauty, hair, babies in the world to keep them. They want D, period. It's nothing wrong with you, but they will find every reason in the world to make you not good enough. If he lays with you for 3, 4, 10 days and he don't touch you, it's not you. He want a man, and that's on my mama. Okay? And in their caption, she said, public service announcement, period. It's time someone says something with the middle finger emoji. Now, being that, she's moved on and she ain't been dealing with Vince, again, that's why I think she's talking about her last dude. And when I seen him, I seen her as being his beard, but that was just me and my perception because, that's just kind of the vibe that I got. But that is what she's saying. She's saying that, ladies, these dudes really be gay. That's what it is. And they pretty much be using women as their beard, as we know. So with that being said, who do you guys think she's talking about? Do you guys think she's talking about her man? Do you guys think she's talking about...
Okay, so that was a video that I did, and then I went on to talk about the incidents that happened between her and Vince. So on last year, Vince was accused of putting the pause on her as well. The mom came out and the mom has stated that Vince was abusive to her daughter. She said that Vince had been I guess she had woke up out in the middle of the night and heard Vince and Tamar going and having a physical altercation, and the mom said that she was very scared for Tamar. I'm going to play a snippet of that part of the video where the mom talks about the abuse between Tamar and Vince, and then I'm going to have some of you guys on. I put the link in the chat, and I want some of you guys to click on it, and you guys let me know what you think. There was a lot of people who wanted me to cover this topic and talk about this, so I'm going to need y'all to click the link, tell me what y'all think. And here is the mom talking about the abuse that Tamar had with Vince.
To how Laura Govan and this new alleged baby all got thrown in the mix of this drama.
I don't really have anything to say to Ben. Only one thing, keep his hands off of my child. Stop before he hurts her or kills her. I love Ben, but I don't want him to kill my child. As simple as that.
Okay, so that was the mom, and she was very vocal, like I said. So then we're like, wait, dang, he's putting his hands on her, he's beating her, blah, 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 blah. Then fast forward to Christmas Day, it was alleged and reported that Vincent Herbert was arrested for spousal abuse yet again, that he had been putting the pause on Tamar yet again.
You have to break the chain as well.
Well, what really happened for me is just one night I got up, I heard all of this noise. I thought the elevator was falling out of its socket. So I ran into the kitchen and I'm like, what is going on, for God's sakes? And he was abusing her. And she was trying to run, she was trying to get away. And I spoke to him about it. I said, no, this is not what we do. And he turned on me. And I'm like,
Okay, so that was her mom again describing how she came to know about the abuse and how, it just isn't okay with her. There was reports, like I said, of Vince being arrested on Christmas for abusing Tamar. And also around the same time, Tamar decided to go on Instagram and vent about a woman contacting her and saying that she was pregnant. She posted it and then she deleted it. But with the good gift of screenshots, it's captured into internet history. So this is what she had to say in an internet post. Vincent Herbert is having a baby and his whore decided to let me know about it tonight. That stupid broke ass whore should check public records on Christmas before she goes through with it. He called back despite of his protection order, begging and lying like he was hanging out with Joe and Roxy from BET. Oh yeah, that's credible. No shade. However, before you judge me, know the facts.
All right, so as you can see, Vincent Herbert also had a protection order against Tamar. Now, I see a few of you in the chat, and there was a few of you who said that people are making excuses for Tamar. And let me see if I could find it. Somebody said that, why does everybody want to be Tamar's ass? Another person says, why is everyone whooping on Tamar? Every relationship, even before Vince, that's crazy. Another person said, I'm trying to find it. Somebody else has said that people were deflecting and they were trying to deflect from Tamar. So if Tamar is an abusive woman, is she not taking accountability? Is this a situation where, is both of them being physically abusive towards one another? And then, this is happening this way. And then the guys are being painted to be a certain way. I don't know. I've seen some of you guys in the chat saying that, but we'll get to that in a second. Let me play a little bit more of the video and then we'll get into the calls.
He's a real piece of work. Shaking my head. Happy New Year, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, know that 2018 is a fresh start. And if I can leave this liar, you can leave yours too. Okay, so rumors started swirling around that Laura Govan was the woman who was cheating with Vincent. I'm not sure how people connected her with Vincent. He's about to have you.
No, sir. So it's not true.
He bumped into Vincent to ask him, was there any truth to the allegations? And this is what he had to say.
Is it true that you got Laura Govan pregnant? I'm trying to clear you. No, sir. So it's not true. Not true at all. Now, what about the spousal abuse? Not true at all. All right.
Okay, so that was just a quick snippet of an old video I did.
All right. So, Vince was saying that it wasn't true about the spousal abuse that they said that he did. And now there's being allegations that David is doing this spousal abuse. I want to know what you guys think about the situation. Why is it that each and every relationship that she's getting in is resulting in domestic violence? Why is it that, she's leaving Vince and he's abusing her? Then she's going with her quote unquote knight in shining armor, David, and then they're alleging that he's abusing her. And when she left out of the situation with Vince filed a protection order against Tamar also. And then now when she has left her relationship with David is now filing a protection order against her. So what is really going on? A lot of people, they don't hold certain celebrities accountable. Like, a lot of people will see somebody that's famous and they'll like their personalities and they will excuse their toxic behavior and only hold people who are not famous accountable. Do you guys think that that is what's happening in this situation? Or do you think that Tamar is an actual victim? I want to open up the phone lines and hear from you guys, for you guys to let me know what you think about it. Somebody said that she has unresolved daddy issues. Another person says, I feel like she hasn't grown from her abuse as a child. She hasn't healed. Another person says, for Tamar's mental health, clearly she has deep-rooted issues. Another person says, the common denominator equals Tamar. Then Barbara chimes in, and Barbara says that Tamar is, in fact, a victim. And then Demaria says, a man should never put his hands on a woman, but some women to stop verbally abusing men. Ashanti says, thanks, Neeks, for your wonderful stories. Not just celeb stories, yet even world events. Domestic violence is shedding light on serious issues. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and tune in to Neek at Night. Thank you again for the donation. I truly appreciate it. Let's bring on Phil. What do you think?
Neek. Hi, this is my first time joining your live show, and I'm very impressed. It's very good.
Thank you for tuning in. What do you think about Tamar and what's going on between all of these domestic violence situations and the newest receipts or the text messages that have been leaked between David and Vince?
So I believe that with David, he's being an opportunistic at this time. I think that he's using Tamar's situation right now to his advantage to be in the spotlight, as much as he claimed he don't want to be, because he claimed she hit him in the side of his neck and that she hit him so hard that he was able to dial 19 numbers back to Africa to call his mother. So that just, like, why are you not dialing 911? Why are you dialing your mom? Like, it just don't seem right. At first, he was the knight in shining armor. At first, he was, her man. He dialed 911 for her to get her some help. He blamed the TV. He never alleged that she was abusive. Now you're taking out training orders. Now you're doing this and this and that because I think Tamar wants to get back into TV and he don't want it to be. So I just think that with Tamar and Vince, I believe she was very verbally abusive towards Vince, and Vince was physically abusive. So I think she stayed for the money, period. So I just hope that, she finds a good, stable relationship, but she got to find and love herself first. Yeah.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate your input on this story.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Now we're going to go to Chocolate Rose. Hey, Chocolate Rose, what are your thoughts? Hello? Chocolate Rose, you there? All right, we're gonna go to S. Rusty.
Yeah, I think that
You got a lot of background noise. Can you turn down the noise in the back? It's a lot of background noise going on. In the meantime, I'll read some of you guys' comments. Some more people click the link and chime on. Demarius says, I believe she's being abusive. She needs to shut her trap. You can. Tamar got a lot of mouth. Taj says, and now she's trying to stir up mess with Tracy on her new show. I don't like how she goes at things towards her family. And then y'all taking shots at my Wi-Fi. What's wrong with my Wi-Fi? It ain't me. My stuff is working just fine. Shalez says, either way, they shouldn't have gotten that far. I feel like that man is controlling and trying to jump ahead of the story to not look bad. I agree. I feel like him purposely wanting to be edited out of WeTV's program, I feel like he knows that there's probably something in the milk that ain't clean that's going to make him shed in a bad light, and he doesn't want people to see that. So something going on. It definitely does seem a little, damage control-esque, as Vanessa Martinez just stated. It does seem a little damage control-esque. So, I don't know. I do not think that Tamar is 100% innocent, though. I will say that. And not in the sense of, her being abusive. I don't think that she's 100% innocent, though. Just knowing her personality, the way that she pops off. I don't know. I mean, she could be in a better place. We haven't heard from her, but I don't know. Let's see. Ken says, there are men that will take your story of past abuse and use that against you in order to abuse you because they know the response is going to be, why does everyone beat on her? What does she do? Let's see. Vince is trying to be the African hero to the rescue. Stop it. Leave her alone. Rusty?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds much better now. Go ahead.
As far as Tamar and Vince, I think Tamar was their aggressor, and I think they both had issues, and I think she got into a relationship too fast with this guy. I never trust him from the get-go.
Okay. Elaborate some more.
Like on the show, she was the aggressive towards Vince. You never really seen him come at her like that. He was always, in my eyes, he always shielded her from social media. And then as soon as they broke up, she was always in trouble with this person, that person. And I feel like the family contacted him this time to get involved. So.
Right. So what do you think about the messages between Vince and David? What do you think the situation is between David and Tamar?
I think David wanted fame. He wanted to be out in the public's eye. And I think he was using her from day one. And I think he leaked the messages. Because I don't think, what would Vince have to gain for leaking the messages?
Yeah, if you take a look at David's YouTube, he's trying to be a whole YouTuber now. So he has his YouTube videos where he's trying to talk about starting finance. He's telling people about insurance, talking about investments. He's a whole YouTuber. So I mean, he might want, a little bit of fame and attention, and who knows, but who knew that he was a YouTuber?
I thought it was wrong for him to post that video of Vince and Tamar's son without her permission or Vince's permission. They were not married. So I feel he was wrong for doing that.
Yeah, and they clearly both had an issue with it.
Yeah,
Vincent felt like he was using the baby for clout.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Well, thank you for chiming in.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm over here trying to eat grapes and talk at the same time. But yeah, so I mean, it's a lot going on with this situation. I'm going to bring Chocolate Rose on and then we will bring the stream to a close.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi, Nick. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, honey. I'm calling from London, so it's like 5 o'clock
London
in
in
the
the
morning.
house. Woo woo.
Yes, honey. I'm here watching. I love your show. Every
Thank
time I
you.
see you, I'm just like this girl, her hair, her clothes, just popping. I love you. But
Thank
anyway,
you.
anyway, back to Tamar. I'm just gonna say this. I feel like there's a deeper issue here, right? I just look
Mhm.
at it like this. It's not only Tamar that's going through this situation that we've seen recently. And it seems like there's a recurring theme of famous, beautiful, successful women who constantly have to have a man.
Mhm.
It's like they're scared to be single. They're scared to they're embarrassed to come on social media and just say, yeah, I'm single. I'm working on me. Because in my opinion, the transition from Vince to this new guy was way too soon, especially coming from a situation where there was abuse involved, coming from someone who's been in a relationship where there was violence. It's never good to move into a relationship when you've got so many issues going on. Do you get what I'm saying, Neek?
Yeah.
I'm not blaming her because no one deserves to be abused. But I look at people's, and I know this is why I love your channel, because you look at people's history, you fact check them. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm
Right,
being
right.
honest. I'm being honest. Tamar's history, we've seen it from the first season of Braxton Family Values. She came across very hostile, very brattish, very it's my way or no way. And to be honest, that's been a consistent theme through every show that she's been on. Now, fair enough, they say, edit, but they can't edit things unless you give it to them.
Mhm.
And from the first episode of her new show, I'm sorry, Neek, I was just shaking my head like, right, I see why everything's gone wrong. Because the whole dynamic to me, I was just like, what's going on here? Like, how did you feel? Did you watch it?
I haven't seen the new trailer of it yet, but I know that it aired like a day or so ago, but I
Yeah,
haven't
I
seen.
can't lie. I caught it on the YouTube.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
But yeah, when you watch it, I can understand now, kind of like, wow, like I see why all this is coming out now, because he comes across as very controlling. My man don't want to support her because he can't get sex. I
Yeah.
just like it just, but yeah, I'm rambling. Let me let the other people speak. I'm gonna go back in the chat, but thank you for having me on. Keep doing you. You're inspiring. You're my age, young black chick doing her thing. I love it.
Oh, thank you for chiming in, and I appreciate your input all the way from London. Woo woo. And we
Whoop,
gotta have
whoop,
more.
London, honey. Thank you. Bye, Nick.
All right, bye. All
Bye.
right. Unforgettable wanted to chime in, and then we will wrap after that. Go ahead, Unforgettable.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
How you doing, me? Okay, me. First of all, if you read the context of the text, this has happened before. He
Mm-hmm.
knew this time. To me, in my opinion, David wanted to beat Tamar to the jump.
Exactly. True.
Because see, when Vince texted him, he said,
He said last time
"Please,
the stuff you gathered it up and it was like trash.
yes." You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And as far as someone's talking about the watch, you don't know what type of watch that was. Do I believe, so it might be of some value. You see what I'm saying? And it looked like to me they were a little strapped for time. I mean, strapped for cash. I was outside taking out the trash and I was trying to hurry up and catch you. Okay. Um, they might have been abusive to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because for Tamar to tape it, you see what I'm saying? And for her to tape him acting like that you don't know what happened.
Your phone is kind of going in and out, so maybe go closer to your house or where you have better service.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. To me, they might have been abusive to each other. I feel like Tamar, when he was saying that he was going to kill them all. That's David coming out.
Mm-hmm.
When the video of him taking Logan to the beach, something that stood out to me the most, his mother was carrying the bag.
Yeah, she was she was all the way like back.
And she looked like she was struggling. And but his main focus was on him and Logan. Then he said, "Oh, she's 80 something. Let me catch the bag." That's how come at that moment I felt
Yeah.
like he did that for attention. He did that
Yeah,
for
that's what Vince
attention.
said. He said he felt like he did it for clout.
And he did. You can tell. Come on. And so that's what probably escalated it. You know, her probably busting him out about, you are out here doing this with my son. You don't do that. He has a father. You know what I mean? And we don't know about him being African man. A lot of the African guys that I have dated have been, the woman is beneath everything. You see what I'm saying? Like you supposed to be quiet and
Seen and
submissive.
not heard.
Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
David comes off like that. He really does. And I don't know where she got that black T'Challa from. I don't. But him trying to beat it to the jump, this really, him being with Tamar, I believe, elevated his business.
Yeah.
It really elevated him. So to me, yeah, he thought he can get more money than her. I mean, he's not as popular as she is, but also you got to be a strong person to deal with Tamar.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a very strong person, because she looks like one moment she happy, one moment she popping her neck and rolling her eyes, and I'm not going on. I'm not going to do nothing. But he said he could deal with it. Well, we see his method of dealing with it.
Right.
My
Yeah.
biggest thing with Tamar is, why is
What do you think about him being alone with Tamar's son? Somebody in the chat said Tamar should not leave her child with a strange man she just met. What do you think about that?
him? First of all, I'm a single mother of two daughters, and they'll tell you they can count on one hand with several fingers down how many men have been with them alone. I don't play that. When she had him sleeping in the bed with their child, come on. That
Mm-hmm.
that was just, I mean, I understand she might, want to be in one happy family, but he can be a happy family in his room. Or when he falls asleep, I come in here with you, or we going in the den or living room. I don't do this. You laying in bed with me, and this is not your dad. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And then you don't know how he's also acted, or his behavior has been around Logan. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? That, I mean, he has a very dominant type of personality to me. But my biggest thing is this, and I'm gonna let you go. Drama always follows Tamar.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the biggest thing I've seen about her. Drama always follows her. She might be doing good and have a new album out, something like that, and here comes some drama. It's something Tamar needs to be. She needs to work on, and to me, she needs to just step back from trying to have a man that wants to be in the limelight. Because I mean, everything he wants to go viral. he wants to be as big as her. The only thing that's big as her with him is his ego. So
right.
that's the
Well,
only thing I can say. And Nick, I love you. I think you are beautiful.
oh, thank you. Thank you
Yes,
for chiming in. I appreciate it. And I
yes.
appreciate
And I'm
you.
gonna order my pajamas.
Woo whoop. Hey, I like the sound of that.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, that is all for this video. I wanted to, pose the question, was Vince any better? I wanted to know what you guys felt about it. Thank you for all of you who support my channel. And thank you for all of you who chimed in on this topic. It's just a whole lot of. I'm glad that Tamar is in therapy, according to the messages from Vince's side. He said that she's with somebody named Dr. V. So hopefully she can address her childhood trauma. She can address, some of the behavioral things that have been coming back into all of her relationships and be a better person going forward. I wish all parties nothing but the best. But, it'll always come out. Whatever is done in the dark will always come to the light. And some other people felt as though a lot of this was a publicity stunt. Some people felt as though like, oh, they're just trying to get publicity for the show. I mean, we'll never know. We don't know. I don't know. It can also just be plausible that David is trying to get ahead of things so that people can, not feel a certain way about him. But if he goes on the show and he doing fuck shit, it don't matter how much ahead he tried to get. If people see him being a certain way, they're going to perceive him however they deem anyways. So that's all for this video. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Also, my website is scrolling on the screen. Definitely don't hesitate to visit neekatnight.com. It is spelled exactly like my channel. And thank you again for tuning in. Peace.